Hi guys, how are you all doing? Welcome to my channel. Uh, are you ready to talk tennis? Listen guys, welcome to all my viewers right around the world. We're going to talk about the Miami Masters 1000 final, and I got a lot to say on that. So first, let's look at the semi-finals, and really guys, welcome right around the world, wherever you're watching for. A big warm welcome to all of you. Okay, so let's do this. Um, so today we saw two semi-finals. Casper Ruud, second, sorry guys. So Casper Ruud has won his semi-final by the score of 6-4, 6-1. Um, not too much to say about that match. All I'll say is this, right? He was just a little bit better, like, the whole way through that match, I would suggest. Just, uh, did everything a bit better. His defense, his serve, his consistency, the power. He was able to sort of push around. Just working out how to pronounce his name, Sarandolo. Yeah, he was able to just dominate and push Sarandolo around. Mostly it was due to his forehand. He had the power and consistency to be in rallies, but to dominate the rallies and just to boss and push around Sarandolo. So when both of them was consistent and good at the long rallies, but like one guy is more power, he's obviously bossing the other guy around. So Sarandalo always running, couldn't do much about it. Then yeah, so they're both consistent, but he's got more power. Then a bit faster, a bit better defense, a bit more consistent, less errors, and just better on the serve. So really just better in every department, but mostly two consistent ralliers. One guy had more power on the forehand, right, and he's just bossing around Sarandalo and taking this one here in straight sets by the score of 6-4, 6-1. Your second semi-final featured Alcaraz against Hubert Hurkacz. Alcaraz won 7-6, 7-6, so he's into the final now. Really, this was equal. Like I said in your preview, exactly what I said. Just a minute, guys. Yeah, sorry about that. So just exactly what I said would happen happened, right? Sarandalo, I mean, sorry, well, I've already done that one. Yeah, we know that Sarandalo is lost and he's out. So on the second semi-final, like I said, like they both match each other equally with power, but Alcaraz is a bit better when it comes to consistency and defense. So he can attack when the option's there, but when it's not, he can defend. So he doesn't need to go for too much, finish points, because he knows if he's behind in the point, he can also defend. Whereas Hubert Hurkacz can't really defend. So he has to go for a lot, power near the lines to shorten the points, right? Because he doesn't want to be in a defensive position when he's weak defensively and Alcaraz is strong. Whereas Alcaraz can do it offensively and defensively. That's why on the second service points he was way ahead. But the one way, the fact that Alcaraz has power and defense, power and offense, and also defense, right? That's what Alcaraz. Whereas Hurkacz has offense but doesn't have defense, right? So, and then the consistency advantage for Alcaraz, even though he does make some errors, right? So Hurkacz is saying all my areas of power and attacking and shortening the points, you can match me in the power, but then you can also rely on defense too. So I'm going to have to go for more because I can't be on defense. I'm going to have to make errors. I'm going to have to do all this stuff, right? Um, Whereas Alcaraz can attack when the opportunity is there. When it's not, he can also defend, and then he doesn't have to make as many errors. Yeah. So that's definitely an important factor there, right? In this match. But where Hurkacz has the opportunity to um, to outdo Alcaraz is off the serve, right? So we can say, yes, when we're in rallies, you're going to match me on power, but then we're already equal from that, and then you're going to have better defense. So you're probably going to win more of the rallies than me. So what I'm going to have to do, which happened with the second service points. So what I'm going to have to do is say the one thing I'm better than you is serving. So I need to serve great and have a whole lot of free points. So there's very few rallies on my serve anyway. And then the rallies that there are, they're on your serve. So that's what he had to do to say, like, you know, this guy's matching me where I'm strong with my power. But then he's also got defense and consistency, which I don't have. So, but the area that he had to outdo Alcaraz was the serve, and if he could serve great and make their few rallies on his serve, and then Alcaraz just has to win rallies to hold, that was his chance, right? But the thing is, he did serve well. He did not get broken in this match. He did bring it to a tiebreaker, but when it came to the tiebreaker, the problem was when Alcaraz got back his serve into play, then he was at a high chance to win the rallies. So Hurkacz is constantly under pressure. He has to make every serve. The minute he doesn't, he's got less than a 50% chance of winning the point. Whereas Alcaraz can get the free points off the serve too, can get the 1-2 punches like Hurkacz does, but when he doesn't, when he's forced into a rally to hold serve, he can still, as a backup, win that more than a 50% chance. So that means with Alcaraz winning the serve, the 1-2 punches when he's forced into a rally, still winning. Whereas Hurkacz's position was he can win on the serves and the 1-2 punches, but then when he's forced into a rally, he's losing more than 50% of the time, right? So that's what we saw. So that's how Alcaraz was able to get more points through the match and in the tiebreaker off Hurkacz's serve when he's able to force him into a rally, winning those more than 50% of the time and getting points off Hubert Hurkacz's serve. Right, guys? Um, so that's really what happened here, right? That but when Alcaraz didn't win off his serve or the 1-2 punch and he's forced into a rally, he can still win the rally. So it's very hard to get points off his serve. But he's getting more points off Hurkacz's serve because, yes, Hurkacz wins off the serve and the 1-2 punch, but when he's forced into rallies, then then Alcaraz can win more than 50% of the time. And that led to Alcaraz winning easy on his serve and getting more points on Hurkacz's serve on Hurkacz's service games, but not enough to completely get a break because Hurkacz came up with the serves. But in the tiebreaker, when it came down to you're both going to win points on serve, who's going to get more points off the opponent's serve? That person's going to get enough points to win the tiebreaker, right? And that person was Alcaraz. He was able to get more points off Hubert Hurkacz's serve because when he was able to get him into rally, he could win the rally. But on his serve, he could win with the serve or the 1-2 punch, or if he's forced into a rally, he can still win that. And the second service points meant Alcaraz can get more points off Hurkacz's serve than Hurkacz can do to him, which means in the tiebreaker, when they're both holding serve, it comes down to who's going to get those few extra points on the opponent's serve. It was Alcaraz. So, guys, let's preview this final now. No, sorry, I don't know what's going on today. Hubert Hurkacz is gone. It's Alcaraz is playing against Casper Ruud, right? So, who's going to win this final? It's going to be both guys are very got a lot of speed, a lot of defense, a lot of consistency to hang into the rallies, and have huge forehands to end the point. So two good rallies, two good defenders, both good consistency, both have the forehand to finish the shot. Um, where I think Alcaraz is going to win, I'm saying he'll win this in 3 sets. Is it like Alcaraz will match him with the speed, but might be slightly better. He'll match Casper Ruud's forehand power, but might have a bit more on his forehand. But on the backhand, it can be a liability for Casper, right? Or it can just be sort of not a positive or a negative. But for Alcaraz, the backhand is a power shot, and it is a shot that can finish the point. And we saw this type of matchup when he played Tsitsipas. Tsitsipas had a huge, huge forehand, so did Alcaraz, right? So they matched up each other. So it came down to the backhand. And Alcaraz had a better backhand that he could hit with power and finish points in much better way than Tsitsipas had. I think this would be a similar matchup where the forehands cancel each other out. They're both great. So then it's going to come down to two great forehands against each other, playing at an equal level. Who's got more off the backhand to with consistency and power to win the point in these rallies? And Alcaraz has more with the power and consistency and ability to end the point. So he has the ability to get through the court, get past it. Remember, they're both fast. So you've got to generate a lot of power to get through a slower hard court against a great defender. Alcaraz can generate that power to get through a slow court and a great defender off both the forehand and the backhand side. Right, guys? But with Rudd, he can only generate that amount of power to get through a slow court and get through a great defender from one side, the forehand. So that means Rudd's going to constantly have to keep running around his backhand, hit forehands, and leave the court open. Whereas Alcaraz can stay in the middle, hit forehands or backhands, right? So that means when he's going to be staying over on the backhand side, leaving the backhand down the line like Tsitsipas did, trying to hit a lot of forehands, stay on the backhand side and leave the backhand down the line available to Alcaraz. And Alcaraz, in the matchup against Tsitsipas, he hung over on the backhand corner, same thing, to try to hit a lot of forehands, but left space open for the backhand down the line for Alcaraz. So Alcaraz said, if you're going to leave that open because you want to hit a lot of forehand, I'm just going to hammer my backhand down the line to the open court constantly. I'll either hit a winner or you'll have to run all the way off the court to get it. And then I'll leave the court open the next shot for me to hammer a forehand to end it. Or my backhand down the line, you might not get to it because you're leaving the court open. I'm hammering it down the line. And I think that shot's going to win it. But it's going to come down to the fact that Casper Ruud has to give that open court and give the backhand down the line to Alcaraz, and he's going to take it with his power on his great backhand down the line. But whereas Alcaraz doesn't need to leave the court open because he can hammer powerful shots and get the ball through the court and through Casper Ruud's fast defense of both powerful shots on backhand, forehand. So he can just stand in the middle, hammer, and eventually get past Ruud's defense. Whereas Ruud needs to get a forehand. So Rudd is going to have to stand over on the backhand side and be running around forehand, exposing the court. And then that's a weakness and an advantage that Rudd can do. And then it's just going to come down to can Rudd, that's a weakness of Rudd. So it's just going to come down to can Alcaraz take advantage of the open court with his backhand down the line, take what Casper Rudd is giving to him. And I say his backhand down the line will be good enough. He will make Rudd pay by leaving the court open, and he will expose him with his backhand down the line. Whereas that advantage that Casper Rudd is taking, Alcaraz is taking, what Casper Rudd is giving to him, Alcaraz won't give to Casper Rudd because Alcaraz, like I said, can hit power through Rudd's defense, forehand, backhand. So he won't stay over at one side. He'll stay in the middle and he'll have a lot of speed and it'll be hard to get through him. But Rudd is going to need to hit forehand. So he's going to be hanging on the backhand side. And that gives something. A backhand down the line to an open court that Alcaraz can hit and can take advantage and use that as a shot that's really going to win this match. So the fact that that shot's going to be available, and I believe Alcaraz will hit the backhand down the line, make Casper Ruud pay. But when Ruud's trying to attack Alcaraz, he won't be given anything like that. And leaving the court open. Oh, sorry, guys, disconnected. So like I've been saying, right, that Alcaraz will be staying in the middle. He'll be giving Ruud nothing, and he'll have speed to run down everything. Whereas when Rudd wants to generate power, he's going to have to stay over on the backhand side, but then that's going to leave the backhand. That's going to leave the court exposed, and the line from Alcaraz will be able to expose the open court. But on the other side, Alcaraz is just standing in the middle. So when it comes down to it, it's basically going to be two guys matching each other on serve, defense, consistency, power to finish on the forehand. But Alcaraz is going to have power on the backhand to also get it through his slow court and Rudd's defense. Whereas Rudd won't have it on both sides, just the forehand. And that leads to the open court, him hanging on the backhand side, open court, open court for Alcaraz to attack with the backhand down the line. And if he can hit the backhand down the line consistently and powerful to the open court, that's a weakness that he can just go to in the rallies and just outdo Casper Ruud. And I think that that'll be the difference, that he has that. The open court, the backhand down the line, and the ability for Alcaraz to power on the forehand and the backhand, while Rudd needing to hit forehands leading to open court and leading to Alcaraz with the backhand down the line. But yeah, they're very similar, both great defense, both great forehand, serve pretty equal. But again, Alcaraz is also creating that power off the backhand side in a way that Rudd can't. And in a close match, I'm going to say Alcaraz is going to take this in 3 sets, and Carlos Alcaraz will be your 2022 Miami Masters champion. He'll be one of the youngest probably to ever win it, one of the youngest ever to win a Masters 1000. But Carlos Alcaraz will win it at 18 years of age, will win a Masters 1000 and beat Casper Ruud in 3 sets. And Carlos Alcaraz is your 2022 Miami Masters 1000 champion, or he will be. That's my video for today, guys. Subscribe, bell notification, thumbs up, and have a great day or night. I'm going to try to do a video in a couple of days, no promises, but to review this final. So be back for that. And then about a week from now, I should be previewing, or a bit over a week, slightly over a week, I should be previewing the Monte Carlo Masters 1002. So be back, guys, for my video. Subscribe, bell notification, thumbs up. Thanks for being with me, guys, and I'll see you guys for my next video. Subscribe, guys. Thanks for being with me. See you next time. Bye for now.